12 years old. I'm in the 6th grade and I live in Monroeville, PA. And we're doing here today Alex's all-purpose appetite. So today we're gonna be making pork chops, grilled asparagus, and sauteed apples and sweet potatoes. First, we're gonna be starting with the pork chops. So what we're gonna do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and then you're just gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan and let it get hot. And you're just gonna turn on your fire, but don't make it too hot. So what I've already done is I've tenderized my meat and I put salt and pepper on it. Very easy. I use kosher salt and fresh cracked pepper. It's very simple. Now what we're gonna do is coat it. So I'm gonna get my eggs and crack 2 eggs into the plate. And I'm just gonna get a fork and whisk it around so that the yolks and the egg whites mix together so that it's yellow like the yolks. So now I'm done with that. I'm gonna get some seasoned breadcrumbs and put them on the other side of the plate. You're just going to put some on the side and spread it around a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is get the pork chops, dip it in the eggs, and dip it in the breadcrumbs so that it's coated all over and it's also seasoned, since we did a very basic seasoning. Then we're just going to do the same thing to the other ones. If you're allergic to any of these things, you can just swap it out. Like for the eggs, you could just use milk or something like that. And just gonna get the entire thing covered in breadcrumbs. Do the same to the last one. This just happens to be the favorite thing that I like to make. I hold many dinner parties and stuff like that, and I mainly use this recipe, and that's what people usually like me to make, so it's now my signature dish. So what we're going to do is just dip it in the cast iron pan that has the oil in it, and you're just going to make sure that it all fits. And as you can see, there's not that much oil, but it's enough to get to the bottom. And you're just going to let that sit for a little bit. And what that's going to do with the oil not being so much is it's not going to fry it, but it's going to make the inside tender. And we're going to use the oven also to get it tender in the inside, but make it so that it's not raw. So I'm now going to put this away, because as many people have taught me, be neat in the kitchen. So, and I'm also going to wash my hands, because you don't want to get the germs of the raw meat everywhere. My mom has taught me to do this because you don't want to get anything dirty in the kitchen. You want to keep your area clean so that you can do other things. And my mom has taught me this every time I've cooked. So now we're going to be starting on the sweet potatoes and seared apples. So what I've done is I've lightly boiled the sweet potatoes, and what I'm going to do is just skin the top off, and I'm going to cut them so that they're like this, and they're like the same size as the apples. So I'm just going to get the top off, and you can see that nice vibrant orange that you're going to get on your plate when you're done. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I do many different sports like baseball, basketball, judo, golf, tennis, and I like to do like all those things, and it keeps me active. And I like to also hang out with my friends, and I invite them over for dinner parties, and I go in the woods with them and play outside with them all the time. So that's a little bit about my life and what I like to do. And I've done this now, and I've just lightly skinned off the top of the potato, and I'm just gonna chop it like that, and keep it so that so that they can try and be the same size as the other ones and the apples. And now I'm just going to split them in half. Now I'm just going to put them in here. And what I've already done is I've cut up all the apples. They're about the same size as the sweet potatoes. So I'm just going to mix them in, and I'm going to take them over here. Now I'm going to check on our pork chops. So I'm going to just lift this up a bit, and you can see that I already have a nice sear on it. So I'm just going to flip it over on each side, on each one. If I can get it up. And you can already see that I already have a nice sear. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to put some ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, and ground ground ginger and put the apples and sweet potatoes. Depending on how much you have, that's how much you're going to put. That's how much you're going to put in of each of these. Now the ginger is a bit different because it's a little strong. So you're not going to put in much of this. So we're just going to, and we're going to put on the lid. And now for a little bit of sweetness, we're going to add some light brown sugar. We're going to use about 1/4 of a cup and put some in. Now we're just going to mix it around so that they're all coated. And as you can see, they're all lightly coated with the brown sugar, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the ginger. So we're just going to put it in our pan and put in a little bit of butter. And you're going to put in the butter depending on how much apples and sweet potatoes you have. So I'm going to turn on the fire so that it's not too high, but not too low. And we're going to check on our pork chops. So you can already start to see them sizzling and hear them. And you can see a nice sear on it. Check the other side. And now they're just about done on the other side. So I'm going to put them in the oven. And let them sit there so that they get done on the inside and they have a nice tender but crisp look on the outside and in. So we have our apples over here. And we're just gonna stir them around a bit. And we're gonna try to get them so that they're not sticking together. And we're just gonna toss it around a bit to get it fancy. As that's cooking, I'm going to tell you how I started to like cooking. So a few years ago when I was little and I was watching my Nana cook in the kitchen, and one day I decided to just start helping her out, and every so often I would get more and more to do so that I would get better at cooking. And then one day at home, I decided to cook dinner for my family, and I made chicken cordon bleu, which if you don't know what that is, it's chicken stuffed with ham and Swiss cheese. And I made that, and my family was astounded by what I did and how I did it. So now I just kept on doing stuff like that with my cooking career, and now I've gotten to this. So now we're going to start on the asparagus. We're going to get this pan and get our grilled asparagus put over here. And we're just gonna lay it on my pan so that it can get some nice grill marks on it. And what we're gonna do is get the salt and pepper. Crack from over. And I'm gonna get some olive oil. And put some over top. And then just start the fire. And now we're just gonna let that sit a little bit and let the pan get a bit hot. And now while that's happening, we're gonna get some garlic for the pan. So what I'm gonna do is take this garlic and get a knife. And I'm gonna get just one clove of garlic. So I'm just gonna put the knife over top and crank it. See, and I got the shell from over top of it off. Now what I'm gonna do is just chop it a bit and get it so that it's like that. And now I'm gonna put it in my pan. And just toss it around a bit. Later on, you're gonna have to take out the garlic because it's going to start to burn very quickly, and it's going to leave an unpleasant taste and smell in what you're cooking. So we're going to go back to the apples and sweet potatoes. We're going to stir them around a bit, and they've gotten hot. So now what I'm going to do is get a nice lemon zest. And just get the top of the lemon so that you don't get the white part, because it will leave a bitter taste in your apples and yams. Get the rest of that off. And you can already start to smell the lemon scent and the apple scent coming together, and it smells really nice. So you're just going to get that around the pan. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk about when I got the chef jacket. So last year, whenever everybody knew that I was really good at cooking and that I wanted to keep on doing it, my aunt bought me the chef jacket for Christmas, and it was the best gift I've ever gotten. It even says my name on the side. So now I wear this every time I cook, and I cook quite often, like 3 or 4 times a week now. So everybody usually sees me in this chef jacket. So we're just gonna go back to the asparagus. You can already start to hear it sizzle. Now this is another cast iron skillet because it can, and I use them quite often because it saves the heat in it very well, and so I use it to get like a nice sear char on something like that. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to take out the garlic because it's gonna burn. And now with that, we're gonna jump into a commercial. Now we're going to take out the pork chops because they're just not fun. And you can hear the sizzling in the pan. My asparagus and the apples are already done. I've already taken out the garlic because it leaves an unpleasant smell and taste. So we're just going to start plating.